to get this glass in, you just pull up this weather stripping right here, and then you take that out. It literally just lifts out, and then you look inside here, and then you look in your window tracks, this thing right here, and you look for the slot and look and see if there's any glass. Look down there, see if there's any glass. I already vacuumed out all the glass. There's tons of it, probably an inch everywhere. And then you look in this one, this window track right here. See, right there is a little slot. There shouldn't be any more glass shards. And then we're going to loosen up the window tracks. Each one is held in by a bolt that's 11 millimeters. One's located at the far left, and the other one's located in the far right. Yep. Assuming that you're replacing the window because it was smashed in a theft or just smashed, I don't know, you're going to want to clean these out. Now I just used a chisel and a hammer and just cracked the glass until it became powder, and you got this smooth channel. There's not a lot of residue left behind from the factory epoxy. So that's really what you're gonna look for. That's how I did it personally. But if you were replacing it, the way I would do it is roll your window down a little bit so that there's about an inch between the top of the door and the top of the window, and then I just get somebody to hold it with two hands and then just roll the window down. That's how I did it at the junkyard. That's the easiest way to do it, in my opinion.
However, at the junkyard there's not going to be a car with a battery normally. So what I did, I got a 12-volt battery from a mini bike, and I just shorted the two window regulator connectors right there and hooked it up to positive to the red and then negative to blue, and then it went down, and then yeah.
Alright, so the next thing you're going to want to do is reconnect your battery to move your window regulator so that you can see it both here through this and through the speaker hole. Alright, so for the next part we're going to be readying the epoxy, and that can just be done by the directions on your epoxy label. Next step is going to be reinstalling the window clamps or clips, whatever you want to call them, that secure the window to the regulator.
With these, it's just a 13 millimeter bolt, and you put them in just like you removed them. And when you're reinstalling the window, you want to put in the epoxy right before you have the window dropped in. I had to get my mother to help me hold up the window because I forgot to do that. So just remember to put the epoxy in the channels before you put the window back in. Midway through editing, I realized that I narrated this part really badly. So basically, you want to wear gloves. I wasn't wearing gloves because I couldn't get enough grip with gloves. So I was willing to take the risk of cutting my hands a little bit. I mean, I like to live on the crazy side, but anyways, as you can see, the part right at the A pillar where it's become shorter, you want to push that all the way down. You don't want to force this glass at all because it will break, but you want to push the shorter side, as you can see, yeah, the shorter side all the way down, and then the left corner, which is the bottom corner of the taller side, will just fall into place. Now, the one thing that I learned through this is to not force it, or not do that. As you can see, I was holding it by one hand. That's kind of not too good, but it took me a while. You just want to wiggle it into place. Yeah, eventually you'll be able to get the two corners stuck together and it will be a deadlock. You just want to lower the glass even more. I know it's really counterintuitive, but don't worry about it. It'll go in all fine. I struggled for a while with this. I think it was like 5 minutes that it took me, but yeah, and so I'll let you guys watch the rest of the footage. I won't speed it up, just so that you can see what I did. Yeah, so basically right here, I'm thinking the two corners are stuck opposing to each other, so I can't lift up the glass and I can't put it down. So right there, that's where I got it. I lifted the back left, like the bottom left corner, I lifted that while pulling down on the front right like corner, and then it was able to just slide into place. And now right here I realized that I forgot to put the epoxy, so that's why you put the epoxy into the channels before you actually put the window in. One more thing that I'd like to clarify is that when you're gluing the window back to the channel, you want the channels to connect roughly where they were from the factory, or at least not close to the track so that they don't get caught on each other. Additionally, when the epoxy is setting, you want to roll the window all the way up so that the window doesn't glue lopsided inside the tracks. And one more last note. When you get the window from a junkyard, you want to use a razor blade, the flat side, and scrape off any epoxy from the previous bond, just so that the bond is clean and has a clean surface to attach to.
That right there is how you replace your window in your Expedition.